All right, hello everybody. My name is Thomas Schmitz, and today I'm going to be discussing impeachment. Impeachment is kind of a controversial issue as of late has been over our current president of the United States, Donald Trump. Well, what is one of the most misconceptions you guys think there is about impeachment? Do you guys know anything about this?
But don't get kicked out of office immediately.
That is actually untrue. They don't get kicked out of office at all. It's actually a voting process. It's a two-step process. First, what has to happen is they have to decide on what they're going to impeach you for. Then, if they decide you are going to impeach for that, you will technically be impeached, but you won't be kicked out of office. You have to have a two-third majority vote by the Senate itself. So, I want to discuss three political individuals who actually got impeached themselves: Andrew Johnson, former Vice President of Abraham Lincoln; Bill Clinton, 42nd President of the United States; and also a man who was never actually impeached himself, but he resigned, was President Nixon. But everybody thinks he's impeached for some reason, so he's kind of involved with it. Now, I want to transition over to Andrew Johnson. Andrew Johnson was of course, the Vice President of Abraham Lincoln until, unfortunately, Abraham Lincoln decided to go to a musical play, and John Wilkes decided, hey, I'm going to put a bullet through your head, so that kind of happened. So, unfortunately, Johnson had to kind of fill in, Abraham Lincoln's boots and try to do what he could. All right, let me actually show you guys what a picture of what he looks like. He's not a terrible looking guy, but not great looking. All right, now what happened with him, the reason why he got impeached is, well, when he was actually put in as president, he was kind of gonna, what is the word for it? He was gonna pardon all of the Confederate Army for all the crimes that happened during the Civil War, but the Republican Party wasn't actually exactly quite happy about that. So in return, President Johnson decided, you know what, well, if you guys don't enjoy that, I'm going to start putting in my own people that I like. And he started kicking people out of his own office. Problem is, the Senate didn't exactly like that. They started saying, hey, you can't be doing something like that. That's really against the laws of the United States. So he's like, okay, I'm going to do it again. And he kept on doing it and doing it and doing it until eventually they were like, okay, we have to put a stop to this. So he starts going through the impeachment process, and he becomes the very first president to ever be impeached. But he doesn't get out of office by simply one vote, because he required a two-thirds majority of the Senate to actually kick out. If he got one more vote on the other side, would have been completely dismissed. Next, we're going to go over to the other president, Bill Clinton. You probably know Bill Clinton, if not at least you know what his wife's name, Hillary Clinton. Bill Clinton was kind of controversial as a president during his time for the Lewinsky issue. Basically, what that issue is President Clinton decided, I'm going to, best terms, bang an intern. Alright, so him being the great, mighty, all-powerful man he was, decided, okay, I'm going to bang this intern, do whatever I like, and I'm going to try to hide knowledge. This went on from, I believe, 1995 down to 1997, actually. Problem is he started using his, like I said, he abused his power to, hide the evidence. And when he actually got questioned by judges several times, he and Monica Lewinsky really lied under oath, which is definitely not something good. That information got out, and immediately the impeachment process began. He was I think he was a relatively popular president first time, especially considering his peak approval rating was about 70%. So even though he was definitely impeached, he had, the way the Senate worked, it was a very cut in half sort of thing. 50% wanted him out of office, 50% didn't, because they thought he was doing a pretty good job. And like I said, two-thirds majority. You can't kick him out unless most of the people in the Senate want you gone. Now we're going to talk about President Nixon, one of the most controversial presidents for the Watergate scandal. But he was actually never impeached. That's a common misconception that a lot of people think he was never impeached at all. He was in the process of being impeached, but he decided, because he actually heard some rumors going around in the Oval Office in the White House, of course, government being government, they constantly talk. He was, best way to put it, he was informed that not only is he going to be impeached, but he would basically be the first president to ever get kicked out of office at all. Definitely not a good look for him at all. So, yeah. Now, and the reason why I like informing people about this type of stuff is simply I want to inform people about how U.S. policies work. A lot of people have common misconceptions on certain things. Reason why I feel like I can definitely talk about this is I've studied it for multiple years of my life, ever since the 6th grade. I've been interested. Definitely have a lot of friends who came to me for help, especially during moments where I was just studying for endless amounts of tests. And I did quite a bit of research, as you can tell, considering most people haven't heard of Andrew Johnson. Have any of you guys heard of Andrew Johnson? No one? You've heard of him? Yeah. All right. Okay, so here's some questions for you guys. All right. What surprised you the most? Like, what was the most surprising person you thought who never got impeached at all?
I never do about it. All these two no plan. Richard Nixon.
Richard Nixon? Well, Richard Nixon, he was then when he resigned, so he decided, yeah, I'm just gonna get going.
I knew Andrew Johnson. I didn't know about Clinton.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised about that also. I didn't think that was actually something that happened. But yeah. The impeachment was Andrew Johnson himself, actually, but impeachment doesn't necessarily mean you're getting kicked out of office. It means you're in the process of getting kicked out of office, but it can get stopped if the Senate decides to keep you on for a little bit longer. And like I said, he only stayed on for he stayed on for a few more years, but he never went for a second term because, well, he wasn't very well liked after that. And, well, let's see. Any other questions, guys? Another one? All right. Okay.
Thank you, my good sir, for helping.
All right, and this is my entire audience of people. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. All right.